you should probably drop out of school and go work at McDonald's or Wendy's or whichever fast food restaurant is closest to you and see if you can make it that way. Maybe that way you'll make your parents proud. So I got this first idea for the video from my nephew, Hasan. Shout out to Hasan over in Manchester. And he was describing how he's adjusting to school, high school in particular, grammar school, if you're in the UK or familiar with the system there. And he told me, how not putting in homework at the right time or not getting good enough grades, how that can impact your self esteem and your sense of self and how you feel about yourself. Feeling depressed, but he quickly corrected himself and said, not depressed. Having low confidence and thinking that he can't do anything school or education related. Now, to put it in perspective, my nephew is a very smart kid. He's got a great smile, which I told him about. But this is a common issue that a lot of young people and older people have. I'm not good at the thing that I'm supposed to be good at. What does that mean about me? And does that mean I'm not going to be good at anything in my life? The problem is that we're equating what's external with our internal. We can not be good at stuff. That's fine. But what we can't do is think that we're not good enough. What we do on the outside versus who we are very different. We're not what our jobs are. We're not what we do on this soccer pitch or field. We're not what we do on social media. We're definitely not what we do on social media. Definitely, definitely not what we do on social media. You got that one? That one's very important. And so it's important to differentiate the two. If you're feeling bad about yourself for not performing well, there's many reasons for that. You may have high expectations. You really think that, you could have done better, but you didn't. You may have not been prepared enough for it. There are many different reasons for why we're not performing as well as we should. But what happens afterwards is what's important. Because look at team sports. If what you do on the pitch or on the field, if you have, let's say we're playing football and you miss a chance and you kick yourself down and keep kicking yourself down, kicking yourself down, you're not going to do well for the next few plays because you're not going to make the run that you need to make. You're not going to pass it when you should have passed because you want to redo it. You want to undo what happened. You want to make things right. There's no making things right. It's all right. You gotta acknowledge what happened and let it go. It comes down to schoolwork. What you do in school and how you perform is not indicative of who you are. What's important to do is what can you learn from it? Right? Life is not about being perfect and doing everything perfectly the first time around. That's not a thing. We all do things imperfectly. We are all imperfect. There's no one person out there that's perfect. And if they were perfect, what would be the fun in that? A lot of the most fun and most rewarding things in life happen when we do poorly at things, because when we do poorly at things, we're going to learn and get better if we have the right mindset. But if we do poorly and we go, instead of learning from it and saying, did I prepare well enough? Did I do enough homework in advance? Was I really all that concentrated? Did I spend too much time on it and made myself too anxious and too worried and too upset that I couldn't really focus on it? There are different ways that you can go about doing this. What's most important, though, is to be kind to yourself, right? You're a lovely person. Unless you're out here murdering cats or dogs, you're a good person. Unless you're out here killing people, stealing their money, kicking old ladies in the back of their knees, pushing handicapped people off the sidewalk, you're fine, more or less. Yeah, you might tell lies. Yeah, you might be late for stuff. Yeah, you might not be give it your all. Yeah, you might, cheat here and there. As long as you acknowledge that those are things that you could work on, you're good to go and try not do them again, because, it's you can't do it all the time. But what's important is that you be kind to yourself, because if you equate what you do on external basis, that's on the outside, like your tests, stuff at work, productivity, on the soccer pitch, what you produce in terms of social media. Yeah, this is important for me too. For social media or for some creative adventure, you're going to be stuck in this loop. You're not going to get better. You're going to be repeating the same story over and over again. You got to learn from what you do. So for Hasan, if you're not doing homework, if you're not turning it in quickly enough, maybe start on it earlier. Maybe have a set plan going into it and say, this is what I need to do. Maybe ask for help from teachers, from your fellow classmates, from your parents. And what holds us back and what stops us from getting better is just that it's ourselves, it's our brain. We think if we ask, we're not smart. That's not true. Everyone has to learn from somewhere. If you ask the same thing over and over and over and over again, yeah, maybe you're not as smart as you think, but maybe there's something else that's going on. So ask for help, learn from the experience, and learn that you are not what you do. You're not what you produce. You are your own person, and you are allowed to not do well at stuff. Some of the most productive and influential people of all time have dropped out of school. You know, Einstein dropped out of school. Newton wasn't really in school. Michael Jordan didn't make the basketball team. Pele probably played really well, but he played all the time. He probably didn't do well in school. I don't think he did. But you can't let those things weigh you down. So all in all, cut yourself some slack, learn from it, embrace it, know that you are not what you do. You are your own person and you are loved. And that's what's most important, especially around this holiday season, is to remember the good things in life and remember that we are loved, we are lovely creatures, and there's a lot of things that we do that that we should give ourselves credit for. So long story short, thank you, Hasan, for making me make this video. I appreciate it. You're a lovely kid, and if you're not doing well in school, then you're going to disown you. I mean, we're going to love you and support you anyways. So don't worry about it. I hear being disowned. I mean, loved is very, very convenient, especially around this time of year. But in all seriousness, it's not all that important. At the end of the day, you don't know what's going to happen in the future. You may stumble, and fall. But what's most important when you do fall is you don't just lay there. You get right back up. Regardless of how many times you fall, you get back up. All right? And this recaps and ends my first video. I did notice the lighting changed. This is what they say about shooting in natural light. But I do like how easy this is. I do really like how easy this is. So like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on TikTok that I don't have yet. Follow me on all these channels because we're making it big out here. And let me know if there's, the audio is off or the sound quality is off. I'm not really going to edit this all that much. I'm going to give this a shot. But this is my trial run. This is my first video. So shout out to Hasuni for giving me the idea. And if you have any ideas or you would like me to make more videos, because I am going to make more videos. So if you'd like a shout out and or watch me stumble over some words or whatever I want to say, feel free to leave me a comment. If I do know you, send me a message or call me and we'll go from there. Adios.